Hey everyone, this is Sarah Lewandowski. I am the executive editor of Advantages Magazine, and we have a very fun live event right now that we're so happy you've joined. I am with Teresa Hagel, our executive editor of digital content at ASI, and I'm also with Melissa Newman, our social media manager. So, ladies, it is Friday, and what does that
Yep.
mean?
That means happy hour.
It
That's right.
does. Yes, so we have a special episode today. We're combining two fun things. One is the ideas for motivating employees during this crazy time because everybody's working from home and they're isolated, and that's sometimes it's okay to not have your commute and have to go into the office and all of the complications that come with that, but it's can be difficult for people to not be socializing with, just
Right.
frankly, it's very difficult for people, and it's also sometimes difficult to make sure that your employees are doing okay. And just from a distance, staying connected, but safely at a distance. What does that mean right now for companies? So we actually have, Melissa just held it up. We have a box of these fun Jello shots called Boozy Bites, and they're brand new. And Melissa, I know that the box has some like benefits of these bites and why they're kind of a cool thing to ship out to your people. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What's listed on the box?
Yeah, of course. So first of all, I just have to say, as somebody who loves like good branding, like I think the color scheme and everything, this is just fun. Like you just want to open it. So some of the things that are written on it is that first and foremost, it's vegan. So it's made with seaweed, which I think is interesting. I definitely taste tested before we got on here. So, and I have to say, no different than regular Jello. Very, very good taste wise. So it ships to you. It's party ready. It's Manny ready, which is very important, right? Like we get our nails done. We don't want them to be messed up when we open the box of our shots. It's a very important selling point. And then it's recyclable. And then also it's shelf stable, which is cool because like if you're maybe traveling somewhere and you're bringing this along, you're not having to worry about like dragging a cooler filled with ice to keep something from like melting, somewhere. Like maybe, you're bringing this to a cookout somewhere or a beach party. Like you can just store these safely in your car for travel and know they're still going to be intact, which I think is really important. And cocktail inspired, like it has the instructions that you guys can kind of see a little bit. And then if I open this up, not as practiced as Vanna White with displaying things.
Well, she said years of practice, so
Yeah.
True.
who knew?
You can see some of the flavors, and what I think is so cool is like this little, like I just feel classy, like pinky out for holding this. I love that it's in like a little like mini wine glass, it looks like. But we have some really cool flavors like Moscow Mule. There's a rosé one, citrus punch. And then also mojito were some of the flavors that I had. What about you ladies? Because I know we divvied this cool box up.
I think those were all the same flavors. I think it was all pretty much the same. I think there were maybe 4 or 5 flavors. And I think they were shelf stable for what, like 45 days?
You know what? I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So that's another nice thing for if you're sending them out to your employees. You know what I mean? Like you can send them out to everyone and then everyone will get their Boozy Bites.
Right.
You don't have to worry about it being, going bad before everyone gets them. Because then it'll be fun to have them like as we're doing. We're in 3 different locations, but we all have our Boozy Bites, and then we can all have our shot at the same time.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this is like perfect for if you're doing that holiday party like virtually, this would just be a nice way to kind of keep the camaraderie up for people who do enjoy like shots and alcohol. It's like to send them a little bit of some Boozy Bites.
And I know we have kind of advertised this as a happy hour. So if you guys have cocktails or drinks, beers, wines, whatever you're drinking, we would love to see selfies in the comments. Just let us know what you're drinking. Take a picture of it. We're really interested to see what you're doing. Also, if you guys have ideas of how to keep employees engaged or things you've been doing, share that in the comments as well. We have a lot of ideas that we came up with, but we always want to hear what you guys are doing.
Yeah, please comment. We love hearing feedback.
Yes.
So, do you guys want to go into our ideas?
Sure.
Before we
sure.
Boozy Bites.
Sure. Why don't we go through, Melissa? Let us know what you we had talked about earlier. Some of the ideas that you had for keeping employees engaged at a distance.
So for me, some of the stuff that I came up with is I feel like, doing larger maybe group events of maybe 10 or more people can be kind of hard to do. So I feel like keeping the activity simple always kind of works in your favor, like something where there's not a lot of supplies that people have to go outside of their house to get. So maybe something like virtual games, charades. Who doesn't love the classics? Pictionary, Trivial Pursuit that people get like really competitive for. I feel like that would be awesome to host over Zoom. You could do breakout rooms. You could do MS Teams. There's so many different ways to kind of just, hey, like it's end of day. Let's mix up the happy hour. We're not going to be able to meet in person. Let's end the day, go into a Zoom room and just, have 45 minutes of fun playing some classic, group games. That was one of my ideas. Do you guys want to share around, or you want me to go through my other two?
Yeah, why don't you keep going through the other two?
The other two? All right.
Related. Mm-hmm.
So the other one I think was pretty cool was Scavenger Hunts.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you could have one person that was kind of the designated scorekeeper, and then you can print out scavenger hunt lists online, which I think are pretty cool. Basically, if you just Google them, you can find all types of ones. Some of them are pretty crazy, but essentially you're going to time the person to run around their house to get a certain item and display them on screen, and then you can divide it by points by who wins, which I think is neat.
So do you have an example of what kind of item people might be looking for?
So it could be anything like books. It could be, a cell phone. It could be, for me, I have like a diffuser. It could be some work from home items. You could make it, I think, pretty themed. Like we're all readers. We're people who like, literature. You could do by books or things like that. So I feel like you could
do it by promo product.
Yeah, girl, always think about the promo. I love the promo action, Teresa. Always sliding it in. But yeah, no, I think that's perfect. But some really, really cool ways to just kind of mix it up and make it more active. So you're not just, again, sitting in front of a screen. It's like you're getting that break. You're still kind of doing something around your house, but you're still connected.
And, another thing with that is, I don't know about you guys, but I have a hard time actually taking a break from my computer when I'm at home. So a scavenger hunt that forces you to get up and run around, like that's kind of killing two birds with one stone, because I notice like I have like my steps are, unless I force myself to go take a walk, it's like, oh, I got through this whole day and I have less than 1,000 steps. That's great.
Oh my God, same. I know. And honestly, do you guys have those notifications on your phone where it tells you how much screen time you have? Like it went literally from 7 hours. Like I think on Saturday it was like, you've been in front of the computer for 14. And I was like, oh, like it's a long day just in front of a screen because of everything.
And I see Stacy McConnell has commented that her daughter's 5th grade class does a scavenger hunt too. It's really fun.
That's cool. Nice, Stacy. That's awesome.
Yeah, get everyone up and moving around is a good thing.
Yeah, especially if your kids are having to, do school from home. They don't have that at the recess or gym or anything like that.
For sure.
Yeah, I love that. And then my last one was Netflix Party. So this is a Chrome extension. Have you guys tried?
No, I've never done it. I watch Netflix, but
I mean, who doesn't love Netflix? But I like literally just found out about this, and I like can't believe that I slept on this for so long, but it's been out for a while. It is a Chrome extension for Google Chrome that you can download. So it's only for Chrome, not Safari, which is kind of a bummer, but it's really easy to install. You can get a group together and you can install it on your browser, have your group install them as well. And essentially, as the leader, you can devise a shareable key that they can click on. And essentially a chat, kind of like we have on the side here that shows us who's commenting, will be displayed while we watch a movie in Netflix. And I think that's cool. Like, if you don't have the ability to do a drive-in movie like we did kind of a couple months back, like you don't have the space or maybe funds, there's always new releases on Netflix. You can do kind of a disjointed, safe and socially distanced movie night with some coworkers, which I think would be fun.
it would be fun, especially I don't know if everyone thinks this is fun, but I think it would be fun if it was a really bad movie.
Yeah,
because it could be like a mystery science theater where everyone's like making fun of it throughout the movie. So you don't have to like have because it might be a little annoying to be watching a movie that you really want to be into and everyone's like chatting. But if it's a terrible movie, that would be fun.
Yeah, I totally agree. I would love that. I love mystery science theater, so anything that allows me to make fun of all the B movies and stuff on Netflix, I would totally be down with.
So it looks like we have another comment from Devin Martin. He says Crystal D, which is our award supplier, did this awesome event in a box for our employees for our annual service day celebration. So he says he's going to post a photo if he can. So that would be cool to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that the events in a box are really big right now. And I think the boozy bites, as long as you have something that kind of like could hold it, like a laser cut piece of cardboard or styrofoam to keep it stable inside, that would be a great addition to like a virtual celebration box that people would get beforehand. I think
For
that's a great
sure.
idea. But yeah, the service days, I think, service, years of service, appreciation for hard work during a long, challenging year, I think are really going to be big this season. This is not the year to not do any type of motivational gifts
Mhm.
or appreciation or thank yous. This is like the year to do it if you're in that kind of space where you have a lot of people who've been keeping it together this whole time when we don't know, day to day even what's going to happen. So that's really important.
And you did that story not too long ago about Q4 giving, and I think you made that point that like it can be a hard sell, but like people really need to be doing those Q4 gifts. So if you guys haven't read that story, you should look it up. It's on our website and it's awesome.
I'll drop it in the comments too.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be something big and expensive. That's really not an option for a lot of people this year. It can be something small. So actually now, if we've finished with Melissa's ideas for right now, should we try one of the bites?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Which do you want to try all the same flavor?
I'm going to do the rosé.
Ooh,
okay.
Same.
Good choice.
Same.
Okay.
So
classic.
it kind of has this little lid, and then you have to kind of peel the top off.
Yeah, and it says on the little plastic thing, enjoy.
Enjoy. And then you have to kind of.
It's got a push-up
it,
thing, right? Or, it's twisting it. Okay.
You kind of break it.
And then push it up.
And then you push it up.
All right. I feel like this is a lot to do in like one bite.
I know. I know.
This might be like a chew.
You have to you just have to crack it a little.
Oh. Oh, okay. There we go. I'm sorry. I was stumping me.
No,
I
you're
haven't even
good.
had one yet.
We tried already.
Okay. All right.
Hey, bottoms up.
All right. Cheers.
Woo. Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm sure that didn't look too pretty, but it's good.
Oh, Melissa, you didn't just do all
I
of
just
it.
put the whole thing in my mouth.
I know. You nibbled. Okay, maybe that's what we were supposed to do.
Melissa did it so nicely. I put the whole thing in, it was gone. But like you're right, it doesn't. I mean, it's even a little bit. I would say even a little bit better than regular Jell-O. It's got a really nice consistency from the seaweed.
That was pretty tasty. And once I actually figured out how to twist that thing, it worked pretty well. Took me a couple minutes, but
once you get it, it's like easy.
Oh, Stacy is asking, what is that, a Jell-O shot? Yeah, these are Jell-O shots that are called they're called boozy bites.
And going a little later.
They are really fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that is good. So
everyone else is at home drinking something too. So
yes, please post your photos. Teresa, what are some of your ideas for keeping employees engaged?
Okay, so I have a couple of ideas. My first one was a leftovers cooking challenge. Since everybody is at home and a lot of us are cooking, not really me too much, but a lot of other people are cooking. I think I've seen other companies have done this where they I don't know exactly how it would work, but like basically whatever's in your fridge, you cook something up, and I guess maybe they judge it over Zoom.
Nice.
But something to get people showing off their skills. I think that could be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And plus it's like you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff. It's what you already have at home.
Right. No pressure.
Another thing, like we're saying, like people, it's a little bit of a precarious time. Not everyone has a lot of money to go buy a bunch of decorations or buy a bunch of food. But if it's like if you have the bar kind of low where it's like, what's in your fridge right now? What can you make from it? And kind of go from there. I like that. Fun. And then my next one is sort of something we touched on this already. It's something that ASI had done for our employees. We had like a drive-in movie night,
which is so cute.
Yeah. But I think that it can go beyond just like the idea of a drive-in movie. It could also be like drive-through events. And I was thinking, I was thinking about like if you have like a Christmas party or a holiday party for your workers, like this is probably not the year to have like a whole big bash with everyone really close. But if you have a big enough parking lot to do like the drive-in movie, like what if you instead did a little like holiday lights display?
Ooh.
And then, like everyone could kind of like drive through the holiday lights. I mean, you could bring your whole family. I mean, they have those things like that already. Like there's one near where I live where you just drive through a park and they have all the lights set up every year. So you could do that. You could have maybe like there could be like a hot cocoa station where they, deliver to you through your window, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think something, like there's different ideas to be creative with like the drive-in, drive-through, where everyone can kind of get together but still be distant. And then let's see, what's the other idea I had? Oh, so virtual talent show. Because everybody, I mean, isn't like the thing that everyone is talking about during this pandemic is like, I, took up this new skill. I'm learning how to play piano. I'm baking bread. I'm doing this.
Show us.
Yeah. So yeah, let's actually see if they're really telling us the truth. Are you really learning to play the guitar? I don't know. Let's find out.
Prove it.
Yeah, prove it. Exactly.
And I feel like it's something that could be done, either, in person or via Zoom. Like it would work either way.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're not doing, even if it's not a talent show, maybe it could be, because some of these things people are doing, like the bread baking, which is something I'm definitely not doing, but I've seen somebody like, bread. So much bread online. Maybe they could do like lessons instead, right? Like a Zoom, like it could be like a little like TED talk or like a Zoom how to, right? Making a cocktail, making bread, whatever like little thing they could show on camera. So I mean, I feel like there's a lot of different avenues that you could take it. But since so many people have been stuck at home, learning new skills, working on their hobbies, why not show it off to everyone else?
That's cool. I like that.
I like that idea.
I feel like editorial, that'd be really fun. We should pitch that to Michelle for a talent show.
Oh yeah. I don't have any talents though.
Vinny playing his piano.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Prove it, Vinny.
Yeah,
yeah, that'd be cool. So do we want to try another shot?
I don't know. I just didn't really talk a second ago, but yes, I do.
Okay.
Why not?
So do you want to, now we have Moscow Mule, there's Mojito, Citrus Punch. What would you like?
You should choose, Sarah.
All right, let's go with the Mule.
Ooh,
Mule.
Okay.
That one is nice.
I don't know if I've
what white color.
Moscow Mule for real.
Do you have one? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I like these a lot.
They're very cute. I do like the I like the little glass that they're in.
I know, it's very like classy. Like this would be cool for display too. Out somewhere. Like these are really like cool for decorations, like on a table.
Yeah. Yep.
Stack them.
All right.
Hey, when you're ready.
Wait, are you guys going to do all of it at once this time, or are we going to nibble?
I'm going to do all of it.
I'm going to go. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to
go all in. You want to know the protocol?
Okay, when you're ready.
All right. Hey.
Oh, this one. Ooh. This one. Yeah, this one twist. This one twist. This
Whoa.
Twist. Ah, there we go. All right.
Ma'am, these are no joke.
Good. That's good.
Isn't that good?
Ginger ale.
Ooh. These are not fooling around. These are delicious.
A kick.
Yeah, right? It's got you can definitely taste the ginger in there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, these would be ones that sneak up on you. Like
well, good
thing we don't have to like show our talents on this Facebook Live.
No.
Yeah, that's cool.
Does anyone? I wonder. We've already got like a lot of good comments, but I wonder if anyone else has some examples of stuff they've been doing to keep their employees motivated.
Yeah, we would love to hear it. I'm sure people have really cool creative ideas. It's been so neat to see like some of the other things that people have mentioned that they've done to keep like connected during this time.
Oh, and we should. I see Stacy said she'll have to look up the Boozy Bites. We can put the link for them in the comments. I don't not right this second, but somebody will be able to do it.
For sure.
I want to like try and type it in and put the wrong thing in, but it should be easy to find.
And they came like Teresa. They were super good, right? They came pretty fast, right? It was like no issue.
Yeah. I think they shipped. We're in Pennsylvania, and I think they shipped from like Texas or something. And
wow,
I got them within a week. It wasn't too
awesome.
Too bad. No.
Yeah, so I think one of the important things to remember about, keeping everyone engaged, and I think this was even the case before all this happened, is that one of the things that I think is we have to be careful of is making sure that everyone's comfortable with what we're asking them to engage in, right? So
Yeah.
no pressure. These are fun. They're not about pressure because there's nothing worse than being made to socialize when you're just not in the mood. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I think
mandatory
that
fun.
yeah, mandatory fun that's just an oxymoron. Like, and especially
Right.
for like introverts, like I mean, I know I can speak for myself, but just in general, I know making sure that everybody's very comfortable with it. These things should be really no pressure, especially now where everyone's kind of dealing with this in their own way, and just
Yeah.
making sure that people know you're there for them and you support them and you want to, continue the rapport amongst your teammates, but that it's really very low and no pressure. I think that's really important to emphasize too. Like
Yeah,
not
for sure.
making people do like certain things when they're just not comfortable with it or they just don't have the time. Maybe at the
Right.
end of the day, they just want to be done. They want to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
off their computer, right?
Yeah.
Um, so one of the things I think, and this goes back to the Q4 article that it's up on our website, but one of the things that I think is really important to talk about is these gifts this year, especially with companies that are struggling, frankly, and marketing obviously and promo products are the first things to go. But one of the things that's going to be really important is sending out appreciation gifts, but they don't have to be, like I said before, they don't have to be $100 Bluetooth
Right.
speakers. I mean, honestly, like a little self-care kit. It's really the gesture, right? It's just getting
Mhm.
a present from like your company. It doesn't have to be something crazy. So, I think one of the things is going to be very popular is these appreciation gifts. So, not always requiring that they make time for another video call, but just
Yeah.
surprising them with something in their mailbox or on their front porch, right? And something that I think involves the family too. Like if there's
That's
maybe,
good.
you could put like movie night items in that package or I also said like self-care items like pampering items, even the boozy bites could go in there, kitchen
Not for
tools.
the whole family though.
Yeah.
Right, not for the whole family unless your kids are over 21. But yeah, I mean anything that's like, it can be family oriented. It could also be for that person just really showing like appreciation for their work. Sweets, people always like candy and stuff like that,
Yeah.
chocolates,
So
chocolate
fun.
box. I mean, that goes such a long way. And I think, kitchen tools for those who've been cooking in their kitchen a lot.
Mm.
Gift cards for those who have been doing takeout,
Hmm.
curbside, all those things, maybe even going back if they can get a table. Things like that go a long way and people really appreciate that. And also like leisure wear and
Yeah.
home items like those comfy blankets you just have with you like while you're working. People really, really like those things. And I think one of the things we had talked about too is how difficult it must be for new employees at this time. And I know,
Mm.
Melissa, you had just started with us when this all happened. So you can speak to this too, but for those who are really like have never been to the office, have never met their team in person, and now they're trying to onboard them and keep them motivated through what is usually can be a challenging time for somebody normally in the office with their people, and
Right.
now they're having to do that at a distance. Just trying to bring those people into the fold and sending them new employee gifts, doing kind of get to know you game. I know it's kind of like summer camp, but those icebreakers go a long way,
They
right?
do.
Like yeah, the self trivia,
Mm.
little things about you. And you could even do that amongst your existing teams. I'm sure there's things we don't know about each other still that
Right.
are just fun to kind of, banter about. Um, and also like Quizzo, over drinks. People like trivia. They like those teams. They like the competition. And one of the things I think is really fun, which is kind of, like you're in school, but doing like a virtual field trip together.
Yep.
Like a lot of these museums that you might never go to normally, like the Louvre in Paris, they have virtual tours. The aquariums have virtual tours. I think that would be really fun to kind of have a group go to the museum, and check it out virtually. I think that's a low pressure way of just kind of getting everybody together in a fun setting. And I think another thing that everybody should consider too is if it's a group of employees, sometimes let them have maybe a video call where it's there's no real expectation, and sometimes maybe just tell the supervisors to not be on the call because
Mm.
that adds a little bit of the hierarchical pressure and the work pressure to the group. Not to exclude them, but I think there is a space for employees to kind of banter amongst themselves and get caught up and have a relaxed conversation about life where they don't feel like they have to perform, or they're not feel like
Mhm.
they're being critiqued in any way. I think that's really important too.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure, because that's something that you have when you're in the office, like you have the people that you kind of go to vent about things, or just to have that kind of like peer connection that doesn't, it's not, yeah, like you said, it's not to exclude the bosses, but sometimes you feel like it can make you feel a certain way to have to, like be on with when the higher ups are there.
I totally agree. And I think like what you were saying earlier, Sarah, about just like having no judgment, like I know that's kind of how we've had some of our virtual events, or even some of the things we've done in person that have been socially distanced. Like we recently did a happy hour at Uno's, and it was on the patio safely, everybody was in masks. But I always think it's cool that when our department head organizes those things, that's always what she puts in bold, is like, if you would like to come to participate, it's great. If you don't feel like it or you don't feel up to it, that's okay too. Because I feel like when you have that variety, there might be people who just want to come for maybe 30 minutes and participate, and they'd rather do it virtually. There might be that person who really wants to get back to as close as normal as they possibly can and go to something in person that's socially distanced. Or, maybe like you said, they just want to end the day and just kind of decompress. But knowing that the opportunity is there, that if they want to strengthen their relationships, and interact with their coworkers in a way that doesn't necessarily tie to work, like that opportunity is there. So
Yeah, I agree. I think what we've realized during this pandemic is that everybody kind of has their own way of dealing with this stress.
right.
And so we have to kind of respect people's comfort levels. And so I think that's a really important disclaimer. Like, look, this is not a mandatory event.
Right.
Even these video meetings are not mandatory. They're there for you if you want to have fun with the group. But if you have another way of decompressing, that's fine. And so I think the there's for a long time there's been a concern at companies to really make sure that their employees are engaged, and that's noble. I think that's important for company culture. But right now we need to give people space. And I think you can still critique people on their work and how
Mhm.
they deliver each day. But we really need to give people kind of the space to deal with this situation in the way that they see fit. So for a lot of people, they're at home with their kids. They can't do, a video conference, even if it's a fun one at 5 o'clock. They have
Right.
to cook dinner,
Dinner
right?
time.
Like, it is what it is. And so I think that's really important. The overarching theme here too is that, like we had said, these are low pressure. This is not mandatory. This is just fun. Like what we're doing right now is just fun,
Yeah.
and it's very relaxing and casual, and that's great. And I think it really does help people to kind of, socialize with their people at a distance. It's important. But, again, keep people comfortable and keep everybody, no one wants to be judged, especially right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like this is we have enough stress right now as it is. We don't need to add stress by something that's supposed to
No.
be taking the stress away. Like
Exactly.
it's,
Exactly. There's a comment
I
here from Stacy Wolf McConnell. She says a match game would be fun where the host would come up with a fun sentence where the attendees have to try to match a person's fill in the blank answer with a selected attendee. That would be interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Mm-hmm.
a
oh,
different
she
one.
says she might try with her company. Well, if she does, if you
Mm-hmm.
do, Stacey, you should tell us how it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let us
let us
know.
know.
You never know what games are going to be like super fun. And I think, Melissa, you had mentioned too. I think what makes these games really fun is that when you have those like breakouts, because the
Yeah.
smaller groups are easier to kind of banter within. When you have like a group of 22 all in one room,
So
it's
hard.
like whoa, it's really
Yeah,
difficult,
that's
right? You
hard. It's
can't
everybody
mingle.
takes their turn, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
can't really have a natural conversation. It's very
no.
stilted. Although I wonder if there was some way, if you have to have it with a bunch of people, I wonder if there's a way, like maybe it could be like a whisper down the alley kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like a pass it along sort of
Would be
thing,
cool.
or
I
like
like that.
musical chairs, or like hot potato or something. You know what I mean? Like maybe you have to, like,
Hmm.
if you're going to have big groups, you have to lean into it and kind of work within that format. But like a free for all is not going to work.
Right.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think also too, like, I like that you said that, because I think people sometimes like they want to make the virtual event kind of the same as what it would be in person, but you just have to like, accept that it's going to totally be a different flavor and keep flexible, and you can still have fun. You just might have to adapt like certain rules and stuff like that, but I think like personally, like for group games and stuff, just depending on what you choose, just be cognizant of the size, and how you're going to deliver it in that setting.
I agree. And I think, to go back to our group here, how we've handled these things, I think it's really smart to ask people kind of who's interested and what take a poll, see what people are interested. Don't just say, this is what we're doing, be there, be square. Kind of like find out from the group, do a little polling, do a little voting, find out what people want. I think that really goes a long way too. And our group, I can say, has really done a great job with that, just kind of getting the vibe. That's been very, very important too, just to make sure everybody's comfortable.
Yeah. Well, and another thing to think about, I think, with what Melissa was saying about how you don't want to, you can't do the same thing in person as you would do virtually. I think another thing is just to like kind of be gentle with yourself, and like if things go wrong, just kind of roll with it. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like we're all kind of, even though we've been doing like the virtual thing for months now, like it's still somewhat new for people.
Right.
You might screw something up, like, I can't, open the shot, and, you might stumble over your words. You might, not, like someone will come in and be muted or whatnot, but like, just kind of go with it. Like, that's part of the fun, I think, of these virtual things. It's so ridiculous to be looking at the screen and talking to people. So, if we flub our words or, don't have our mic on, it is what it is. And that can be just part of the experience.
Yep. Yeah. And and the other side of that is, just don't ignore your people either. Like it's, as much as we want to make sure everybody's comfortable, I think another aspect of that is don't just assume everybody's fine, because on your, department meetings on Teams or whatever, they seem okay. I think it's important to really check in too, and just these low pressure check-ins.
Right, low pressure check-ins is key for sure. Because another thing, I don't know where I was hearing this, but like depending on the culture of where you work, like the boss just like calling you randomly, that can be very worrisome, right? Like, oh, what did I do wrong? But if you set the expectation that I'm just going to be checking in on people, like I want to see how you're doing, then when they get that phone call or that Teams call or whatever, they're not like freaking out, like, oh no, what did I do? They're like, oh, she just wants to see how I'm doing.
Right. Over communicate. Set expectations, over communicate with your people. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And it's so nice too, like just going back to the appreciation piece. It's like the intent, right? Like sometimes like it's nice to get a gift, but sometimes it's really just nice to get a random out of the ordinary email from somebody. Just, hey, thinking about you. I hope you're having a great day. Let me know how I can support you. How are you making out at home? Like, it's just like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's really nice to know that your coworkers and, the people that you report to care about you outside of the work that you do. So it's always like a nice way to cement relationships in that way by just checking in,
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. And I think every once in a while, maybe just like a surprise, like it's like a Thursday or a Friday, just be like, hey, guess what, guys, it's 2 p.m. Just stop what you're doing and be done. Because that's the other thing that with working from home, and we've talked about this before, you end up working really long hours. And because you're just here, you don't have a commute. So you're just like, I'll just keep working. And so people are overworking. They're working past their normal work day because we don't have that commute still. And so they're overworking. And so sometimes it's nice to just be like, hey, guys, just shut it down, shut it all off, and go, when your kid's done their school day, you can be there for them. I think people really appreciate that too. Just kind of those, making sure that people aren't overdoing it all the time.
Right, for sure.
Leads to burnout for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Awesome. Do we want to do one last shot?
Oh yeah, I think we need to end it with a bang. Cool. One I have is the citrus punch one.
Oh, see, I have a green one.
They're all different. Yeah, the citrus punch ones are all different colors, but I don't know if they taste it. I mean, obviously we won't be able to tell each other if they taste it.
All right, so I'm gonna do the red one.
Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
Different ones. All right. Let's do this.
They are all very fun colors, though.
Yeah, that's great for branding.
Yeah.
All right.
So what is it they call themselves? The champagne of Jello shots?
Oh yeah.
Which is like such a good tag.
Ben just chimed in with shots.
Ben.
Shot.
Hey Ben, what are you drinking?
Yeah, tell us.
He's got something.
Some kind of beer, some kind of fancy beer.
Yeah.
It's probably fall flavored, a craft beer. My guess.
All right. Oh, there we go.
I feel like you need like arm strength for these shots. Like what? Oh, here we go. It's a little extra love.
It's like a push pop.
All right. There. push pop.
There's not, I mean, I just feel like there's not really an elegant way to actually do this. As elegant as these look, it's still a jello shot. So.
Yep.
Exactly. All right, cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Awesome.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay, that was good.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is like spiked Hawaiian punch. Like, this is bringing me back to childhood, but like in a good way.
I hope not.
Wait, what?
Childhood. What are you? What were you drinking as a child? Well, Vinny's drinking bourbon.
Here's your juicy juice, Melissa.
You've been really active today. Did you have your Hawaiian punch?
Oh my gosh.
Quiet time.
Those are good. Those are really dangerous. But I could see them, being used for like party favors, like we said, virtual events, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, I think they have a lot of versatility for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is nice, like all those different things that they're vegan, they're shelf stable. They look really nice. They're is Melissa drunk?
A little bit.
We won't really know until we actually stand up, I think.
Yeah.
Good thing
I think that's for sure.
Which we will do after the live stream is over. We're not gonna
Nope, not standing up
visit
yet.
that indignity on ourselves.
Yeah, people have seen enough for today.
I know. That was fun. That was a fun time.
Yeah.
That was good. I like those shots. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Melissa. This was really fun.
This was awesome.
Yep. And hopefully everybody got some good ideas for keeping their people engaged and happy during this very challenging time. So I am Sarah Lavandusky with Advantages, and thanks for listening. And everybody, please stay safe and healthy. Thank you.
Take care, guys. Thanks for joining us. Bye.